With so many sort of suspense sequences, I'm wondering how did you vary the sound so for different scenes of danger and suspense? Because there's a lot of it, I think, in this show.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I don't know. It's all a blur. I think, I think there was on for me, there was a lot of intention placed on finding a groove and finding a pattern that I thought worked, finding a tone that I thought was working in a scene and allowing it and keeping that same pace, but changing the timbre,
Yeah.
changing the frequencies almost, so as hopefully not to distract, but but still grab your attention, really just kind of adding to it. And there's a couple scenes too where Ava and Nathan, Kaylee and Chris's characters are speaking, and it's just, well, there's a lot of quick dialogue types of scenes. And I remember I was getting faster and more frenetic as their scene was going on. And we found it wasn't working. There was just too much going on. But I have to say that I found it difficult to figure out the scenes where that really worked and where that didn't. I mean, meaning there were times to be bigger and to take up more space, and then there were times to be still, but still have a very steady, ticking, propulsive, tight tension, tight string almost going. And so again, a lot of that was collaboration, but I think most of it is finding that thing that works and then making small changes that stand out but don't take away from BPM and pace. Like keep the ones that stay on the same pace, just changing what your ear is grabbing onto. Everything about the show caused me to ask a question, which is, do we give this away? Do we telegraph? Do we is this a misdirect? Is this a negative hit? Is this a positive hit kind of thing? And so it was a literal case by case basis. There is a moment where Ruby is doing something very untoward towards Nathan, or to Nathan.
That's right.
And it was one of those where it was like, I'm like, okay, so we want to believe that this is happening, right? He's like, yes, we want to believe this is happening. So it became the same kind of score that we would hear in a situation, in a normal situation in other parts of the show. So a lot of misdirect, which is kind of my favorite type of um, you know, concept to have in a project when it requires an actual conversation and not just say like, I think I know what to do. It's more like, no, 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 I really need direction here. I really need to know what you're thinking. And by the way, with Craig being the writer as well as the showrunner, it's an incredibly, direct um conduit to exactly what the tone and the vibe should be, or at least what he wants it or imagines it to be. So yeah, there was definitely conversation that needed to happen for each one of those.